Welcome folks. In this video I just want to talk about graph settings, and so I've got a document open here. So what I'll do is I'll add a graphs page, and so therefore what we can see there is the entry line and also the standard window, -10 to 10 for the X values and -6.67 to 6.67. Just make sure, folks, that's not the domain, that's the viewing window. Okay, so domain and viewing window are different. Now, just to show you that this is very, very important, that basically each application has its own settings. So if I press the home key and then press number 5 for settings and then number 2 for document settings, note that the display digits are float 6, and notice that the angle, so I press tab to move between those various fields. Big button down also helps. So the document settings are float 6 and radians. Okay, so press OK there. We'll go back to the current document. Now, if I press menu here, notice that number 9 is also settings. So if I press 9, now have a look at this situation. The display digits is float 3, the graphing angle is radians, and the geometry angle is degrees. Now, you're probably very unlikely to require the geometry angle. But notice there that there is a difference, and you've got to think about what you're going to do with this float 3. Now, one possibility is to change the display digits from float 3 to say float 6, and that should be good enough. Let's just go back to float 3 just for a moment. Press OK, and let's say we will graph something like x squared minus 5x minus 3, for example. And then you might also be aware, folks, that you can use the menu to change the window settings. There's just a couple of things worthwhile showing you here. One, for example, is if you don't want a label, if you feel as though, not that it's happening in this situation, but if you feel as though that your screen is starting to get cluttered, what you can do is you can hide the label. So you can press Control Menu, and then you can hide it. That's one possibility. Getting back to the window settings, what you can also do is, rather than going through the menu, you can make contact with one of these endpoint values for the, this is in this case for the vertical axis, and then if you press enter, it's opened up and you can now edit it. So you can make it say -10, for example, and press enter. And the other thing you can do is, with that opened up, you can press tab and it will take you around through those 4 endpoint values which define the window. So that's quite useful to know. And you can also, if we click into open space there, we can also do the same with the tick marks there, and we can backspace, change that to 2 or whatever takes your fancy. So the other thing here now is we can, let's add, press tab. Tab will bring up, so tab works, what it does is it takes you to active parts of a screen. So when you press tab on a web page, it takes you to active parts of the screen, and that's what it's doing here. So if I do something like, let's add x minus 0.64 or something of that nature, or maybe let's make it 1.64. Okay, so we can, move it, or we can hide it. We might, for example, want to find the bounded area, and bounded area is actually an interesting command in that you don't actually need to know the points of intersection to work out the bounded area. It's very likely that in the exam that's what the structure of the question will be. It'll be something along the lines of find the points of intersection between the curve blah and blah, and hence find the area between the two curves. But here, what you can do is you can press menu and then analyze graph number 6, and then number 8, bounded area. And then if you come and make contact with get to the point of intersection there, and then click on there, intersection point, and what you'll find is that area is 44.5 square units. Now, if you wanted to know the coordinates of the point of intersection, all you need to do is make contact with it, control menu, and then number 7 for coordinates and equations, and that will give you, in this instance, 6.22 and 4.58. Now I'm going to press control escape. Now control escape is the same as undo, and you can see that in blue there, that symbol is illustrating or symbolizing, if you like, the undo command. So control escape is undo. You've also got some other shortcuts in the Bill Gates mode, which you will have seen in Microsoft Word. So, for example, Control X is cut, Control C is copy, Control V is paste, Control Z is also undo. I could have pressed Control Z there. Redo is Control Y, and I also believe that Shift Escape will also do redo. So they're useful features. But we have a look here at this area value, and it's 44.5. Now, let's say, for example, that the question asked us for the area, but not correct to 1 decimal place, but correct to, say, 3 decimal places, for example. Now, at the moment, we're in float 3, remember. If I press menu 9 for settings, the display digit setting is currently float 3. Now, obviously, I could have changed my settings there to a different float to handle the particular number of decimal places that the questioner wants the answer to be specified to. The other thing you can do is you can make contact with the 44.5, and if you press Shift plus, what it will do is it will add more digits after the decimal place. So you can actually overwrite the float 3 by using that Shift plus. And my understanding is if you make contact with it and go Shift minus, that takes them back. Shift minus, something like that. So there's many other shortcuts as well, but they're the main ones that I think will be useful for you in an exam.